just like that, everything we've been waiting for has finally come to an end. The love triangle that defined the summer I turned pretty for 3 long seasons, Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, has reached its breaking point. No more waiting, no more guessing, and no more dragging it out. Belly finally makes her final choice, and the ending leaves fans divided, emotional, and maybe even shocked. Some people say it was predictable, others say it was rushed, but one thing is clear. This finale was about closure, heartbreak, and destiny. This was the moment that decided who Belly truly belongs with, and how this story that began with summer innocence ended with grown-up consequences. From the very start of this finale, there was a heaviness in the air. You could feel that something final was about to happen. The love triangle wasn't just background noise anymore, it was the center of everything. And in this last episode, Belly had to stop running from her feelings, stop hiding behind indecision, and finally face what everyone had been asking from day one. Who would she choose? Conrad, the complicated first love, who always carried pain like a shadow? Or Jeremiah, the safe comfort, the one who promised stability but never quite lit the same fire inside her? The episode wastes no time putting us in the middle of that decision. Belly is in Paris, a city that itself represents love, beauty, and transformation. And just before her 22nd birthday, Conrad shows up. Think about that timing for a second. After everything, the breakups, the betrayals, the ruined wedding, the heartbreak, he's there, knocking on her door at a moment when she least expects him. For a show that thrived on emotional tension, this wasn't just a coincidence. It was deliberate. It was destiny pulling them back together one final time. As they spend time walking through the streets of Paris, both Belly and Conrad are haunted by memories. Flashbacks play in their minds, old summers, first loves, painful fights, and even though they try to act casual, everything about their silence screams louder than words. They're still in love. They always have been. The audience can see it, the characters can feel it, but nobody says it out loud. Not yet. And this tension builds slowly, like a storm you know is coming, but you don't know when it's going to break. Jeremiah, on the other hand, feels almost like a ghost in this episode. Yes, his presence lingers. Yes, he's been such a big part of Belly's journey, but the truth is, by the finale, he no longer feels like the real option. He represents what could have been, what might have been safe, but the story was never going to end with him. That becomes clearer with every scene Belly shares with Conrad. This is not a triangle anymore. It's a straight line, pointing directly to the ending fans either prayed for or dreaded. And then comes the moment that changes everything. Belly, surrounded by her friends, celebrates her birthday. When her cake is brought out, she makes a wish. We don't hear it, we don't see it. But if you've been paying attention, you already know. For years, every birthday, every candle, every single wish she made was always the same: Conrad. And as she glances at him that night, you realize nothing has changed. She can deny it all she wants. She can fight against it. But deep down, her heart only beats in one direction. This is where the suspense really takes over. Conrad is supposed to leave, to catch a train to Brussels. Belly tells him not to change his plans for her, not to disrupt his life again, because she doesn't want to feel like she's just chaos in his world. It's a test, for him, for her, and for the audience. Is he going to leave? Is she going to let him? Or is this just another cycle where they destroy each other and rebuild again? For a few minutes, it feels like the entire ending of the show rests on that single train ride. And in a way, it does. By the time they share that long-awaited kiss, the story finally erupts into passion. After 3 seasons of near misses, heartbreaks, and broken promises, Belly and Conrad give in. It's raw, it's emotional, and it's messy. For some, this was the payoff they'd been waiting years to see. For others, it was the start of new doubts. Because just as quickly as Belly gives in, she pulls back. She questions if this love will ruin her all over again, if she's strong enough to handle the weight of Conrad's world. She tells him not to sacrifice his future for her, almost pushing him away, and for a terrifying moment, it feels like the ending could slip through their fingers. But here's the thing, deep down, Belly already knows the truth. She can fight it, she can deny it, she can run from it, but the truth is the same. She loves Conrad. She always has, and she always will. The only suspense left is whether she's brave enough to admit it out loud before it's too late. After the intensity of the birthday scene, the story shifts to a quieter, more reflective tone. But the suspense never goes away. Belly is at a crossroads, caught between what she feels and what she fears. She knows her heart belongs to Conrad, but she's terrified of repeating past mistakes. For 3 seasons, fans have watched her wrestle with uncertainty. And here in the finale, that fear feels heavier than ever. When Conrad professes his love, it's not just a line in a script. It's the culmination of years of longing, heartbreak, and unspoken emotions. But Belly hesitates. She can't immediately reciprocate because she's questioning whether Conrad's love is real or if it's shaped by everything he's been told since childhood. By his mother, by expectations, by the weight of his own emotions. The tension in these scenes is almost unbearable. Every glance, every pause, every silence is loaded with meaning. Conrad waits, patiently but nervously, for Belly to finally speak her truth. Belly, meanwhile, struggles to separate fear from desire, uncertainty from inevitability. And the audience is right there with her, holding their breath, knowing that the choice she makes in the next few moments will define not just the finale, but the emotional closure of the entire series. Meanwhile, Jeremiah's arc reaches its own subtle resolution. He's no longer the primary focus, but the show gives him a moment to grow. For most of the series, Jeremiah has been in Conrad's shadow, struggling with confidence, love, and his own sense of worth. Here, he finally steps into a moment of maturity. Hosting his cooking event, facing past failures, and reconnecting with Denise, Jeremiah demonstrates growth without overshadowing Belly's story. It's a reminder that the show is not just about the central love triangle, it's about the broader journey of its characters. And by giving Jeremiah this quiet victory, the writers provide balance. He doesn't get the ending with Belly, but he finds happiness and self-assurance in his own way, which makes his arc feel complete rather than abandoned. Back with Belly and Conrad, the suspense escalates as the night unfolds. They share intimate moments by the river under the moonlight, a setting that perfectly mirrors the emotional undercurrents of their relationship. There's music in the background, soft and romantic, heightening every glance and touch. Every movement between them feels deliberate, as if the universe itself is conspiring to bring them together. Yet the show doesn't allow the moment to settle into comfort. Belly's internal conflict surfaces again. She asks Conrad to leave, to catch his train, to follow his life without her. This act, though painful, is a testament to her growth. She's no longer blindly following her heart without considering the consequences. She's weighing love against independence, desire against stability. For fans, this part of the episode is a roller coaster. 1 second, it seems like the finale will end with heartbreak, Conrad leaving, and Belly left alone. The next second, hope flashes in her eyes as she realizes what she truly wants. The pacing here is masterful. It keeps viewers glued to the screen, wondering if the characters will finally align with their destiny or repeat the cycle of loss that has haunted them throughout the series. The suspense is amplified by the series' clever use of timing. Conrad's train is literally a countdown clock. Each minute, each scene moves them closer to separation, creating a sense of urgency. Belly's decision is no longer abstract. It must be made now, in real time, against a ticking clock. And when she finally boards the train to catch him, that moment carries emotional weight that can't be overstated. It's not just about physical movement. It's the manifestation of courage, love, and self-realization. Belly is no longer the girl unsure of her feelings. She is taking control of her destiny, and for the audience, the suspense transforms into catharsis. By the time Belly and Conrad finally admit their love for each other, the tension that has been building for 3 seasons explodes into resolution. The show doesn't just give them a happy ending, it makes us feel the struggle that led to it. Their journey feels earned. Their passion, their hesitation, their doubts, and their eventual acceptance all combine to create a finale that is emotionally satisfying, even if some fans might argue it moved too quickly in the last few beats. Denise, too, has her arc explored in this episode. Initially, she appears to be a minor presence, but her interactions with Jeremiah reveal a depth to her character that resonates with fans. She helps him recognize his worth, and in doing so, she also shows her own vulnerability. Their kiss, while subtle compared to the intensity of Belly and Conrad, is meaningful. It's a quiet victory, symbolizing that love can emerge from patience, growth, and understanding rather than just drama or obsession. For fans invested in these secondary characters, this resolution offers emotional satisfaction without overshadowing the main story. Meanwhile, Taylor and Steven's relationship injects much-needed humor and warmth into the finale. Their storyline, though lighter, carries its own tension. Taylor overhearing Steven's plans to move to San Francisco creates a mix of comedic and heartfelt moments. She struggles to maintain her composure, knowing the implications for their relationship, while Steven grapples with his own sense of responsibility and love. The way they navigate this uncertainty highlights one of the show's strongest qualities, its ability to blend drama with moments of levity. Their eventual resolution, choosing to move forward together, reinforces the theme of partnership and compromise in relationships. It's a small but vital counterpoint to the intense, almost overwhelming emotional weight of Belly and Conrad's storyline. The finale also cleverly uses pacing to balance the multiple arcs. While Belly and Conrad's story commands attention, the show doesn't let secondary characters feel like an afterthought. Each scene, whether it's Jeremiah finding confidence, Taylor and Steven reconciling, or even the fleeting moments with supporting friends, contributes to a sense of completeness. These arcs remind viewers that the world of The Summer I Turned Pretty extends beyond the central triangle. It's a fully realized community where each character's decisions and growth matter. Humor plays an important role here as well. In a finale loaded with emotional intensity, moments like Taylor's awkward reactions or Jeremiah's nervous attempts at hosting provide brief relief. These lighter scenes prevent the episode from feeling overly heavy, giving the audience time to breathe while still keeping them engaged. The balance between suspense, emotional depth, and humor is what makes this finale feel complete rather than exhausting. Additionally, the episode uses symbolism to reinforce its themes. Paris, as a setting, represents love, transformation, and self-discovery. Belly walking through its streets, reflecting on her past, and confronting her future serves as a visual metaphor for her journey. Similarly, the river scene under the moonlight with Conrad emphasizes both romance and fate, visually showing the audience that this is a turning point in their lives. Every element, from setting to dialogue to music cues, is meticulously chosen to heighten suspense and emotional impact. Another key aspect of Section 3 is the handling of conflict resolution. The show doesn't shy away from difficult conversations or uncomfortable truths. Belly confronting Conrad about his motives, Jeremiah facing his insecurities, and Taylor and Steven addressing fears of holding each other back all contribute to a sense of realism. These conflicts, while resolved by the episode's end, are treated with care. They feel earned rather than convenient, which makes the finale emotionally satisfying. By the time the episode reaches its final moments, each character has reached a form of closure. Belly and Conrad's love is acknowledged and reciprocated, Jeremiah finds happiness with Denise, and Taylor and Steven commit to their future together. The show manages to wrap up multiple arcs without feeling rushed, though the central romance remains the emotional core. The finale demonstrates that love can be both messy and purposeful, highlighting growth, choice, and self-awareness as key themes. The finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 delivers exactly what fans have been waiting for: closure, passion, and emotional resolution. Belly's choice of Conrad feels earned, not rushed, as she confronts fear, uncertainty, and her own growth before admitting her love. Jeremiah and Denise find their own happiness, showing that love can heal and grow quietly, while Taylor and Steven resolve their fears and commit to a shared future. The episode balances suspense, humor, and heartfelt moments, giving every character meaningful closure. Ultimately, it's a finale about choice, self-awareness, and love that's both messy and real. 3 seasons of longing, heartbreak, and growth culminate here, leaving viewers satisfied while still remembering why they fell in love with this story in the first place.